my, what a lovely day. Hello my fellow Hetalians and welcome back to Hetafax. And yes, I know I've lived here for about a month now. I'm sorry I didn't quite film my room yet, but now it's finally finished. I just finished putting up all my posters. I finally have the hooks to do so. I finally have a blanket and a pillow, one that actually is useful and covers my entire body. And I figured today I would talk about Poland while eating some Polish snacks. I'm eating what appears to be Viking balls. I expected them to be more chocolatey, but they kind of taste like peanut butter. Anyways, to talk about Poland, or show you a series of vlogs I did, and then explain what happened. Здравствуйте, мои итальянцы. Я хочу мой русский язык практиковать. И это видео должно не слишком длинное. Завтра я буду летать в Польске, в Вроцлаве. Это первый раз, что путешествую в одиночестве. Я так нервничаю вызволнения. Я буду наконец путешествовать в Польске. Я буду там для 3 дней. Я была так нервничала это утро. Вставала в 6 часов. После 30 минут я снова летела, а я вставала в 11 часов. Я буду рано вставать, потому что мой поезд уходит в 9:15. Спокойной ночи. It's my hostel. So far, it's pretty cool. I've never been to a hostel before. Oh, yes, my lovely view. Yes, that's not too bad. Hey, I thought I cannot speak a word of Polish, mind you. So I'm gonna have fun in this town. Apparently there's free coffee and tea, so I'll take advantage of that. Wonder what they're doing. Is this the elevator? It feels super sketchy. There's like no door in front of here. You just Pierogi. So far I went to 2 pierogi shops. Both of them were closed. Not I mean closed, I mean out of business. And I am very sad. I found one more. It's a lovely morning. It's a lovely kurva morning. We got some breakfast. We're going to do this tourist walk that I saw at the map by the panorama the other day. And people here keep thinking I speak Polish. It's quite a pretty bank. Anyways, I'm doing like a tourist route that the panorama map suggested to me. And right now I am not disappointed. Yesterday so much happened. I'm probably going to do a video when I get back. I can't do a video like after every day because I'm at a hostel, and as a result I share rooms with other people. Yeah, so far I really love Poland. I love everything about it except the language, which I cannot speak, unfortunately. And people could keep thinking that I can speak Polish because I just look that Polish. I am more German than I am Polish, but I guess we know which ones the dominant genes are. Penguin? Penguins. Penguins. Now reached the old town. Oh wow. This is gorgeous. This is really pretty. If only the sun wasn't so... Birds. There's a German tourist group, but it's full of nothing but old people into very small groups, so I think I would stand out pretty quickly. I learned that Poland is basically like the Thailand of Europe, except instead of knockoffs, there's just cheap stuff. Right? Because I found this like really, apparently it's unique Sunday market. And I'm going to buy some stuff I really, really need, like shoes, because I barely have any over here. And I'm going to go find a money exchange, because I do not have nearly enough money at the moment. I may have converted too much. I converted 150 euro into 622.5 zloty. Anyways, to the market. To be the first time that I've ever visited a European church and have it actually be populated by people that weren't tourists. Wow, I'm impressed. Very much impressed. If I could find a homeschool place, that'd be good. Very nice. My last helping of pierogies, let's go. I flew out of Basel, and right off when I got off the train, I'm like, oh, I should probably get a taxi. And I step outside, it's like, oh, there's a bus that goes straight to the airport. How beautifully convenient. Anyways, if you're wondering why I'm dressed so nicely today, I bought this outfit while I was in Poland, and I will explain to you that a little bit later. Just in case you're wondering why I'm dressed so fancily. When I got to Poland, the taxi driver I first met was very friendly. But when I first stepped off and I looked out the window when I first got to Wrocław, my first thought was, looks like any other post-communist wasteland, because seriously, look at this. Communist wasteland. But then in downtown Wrocław, things were starting to finally get interesting. And then I'm like, oh, wow, it is quite beautiful. I really love it. And I ended up loving every single part of Wrocław, everything except the language, which I can't speak. And since I look Polish enough, people think I speak Polish. So until they see me use my credit card, they automatically assume that I speak Polish. I don't think anyone automatically assumed that I was not a native from when they first met me. I was also surprised at how well I could communicate. Even though I don't speak Polish, I'm surprised how far my Russian got me. I mean, knowing my numbers and my colors and everything, and looking up how to pronounce things in Polish really took me a long way. I had to kind of clarify po angielsku, po niemiecku, ili po rusku. But I learned please and thank you. I learned my prosoms and dziękujesz. That was very useful. But knowing all the numbers in Russian definitely helped. Just kind of sounding things out is like, oh, this is this. Oh, kapusta. Okay, that's the same. I know kielbasa is like kolbasa. Well, I know what kielbasa is. Who doesn't know what kielbasa is? It was really hard to get around. At least in Thailand, people look at you and are like, oh, you're not from here. The first day I got in at about 2. And I couldn't... One thing I couldn't believe was just how safe the city was. I walked alone by myself at night all the time. Since I traveled there by myself, I didn't have anyone to walk with. Well, I guess a lot of it's also common sense in staying in populated areas of the city, but the feeling, just how safe the city was kind of amazed me. Then again, it is Poland. But I saw the Wrocławice panorama. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That was probably one of the highlights of my trip. It was very beautiful. It looked so real. And the way they put like props like plants and mud and everything in front of it to make it look even more real. I couldn't tell what was a prop at some points and what was painting. It was so cool. Thank you. I think it was Philippe that suggested that. Thank you. Yeah, apparently it was depicted one of the last battles before the last partition of Poland. It was one of the last battles that they won before they were like wiped off of the map, and it showed a bunch of Polish soldiers slaughtering a bunch of Russians. Then I went to a mall afterwards and I found some pierogis. That's basically all I ate was pierogis and pączki while I was there, because we don't have those in Germany and I miss them so much. So at one point I just had nothing but pierogi after pierogi after pierogi, or pączki after pączki. When I get back to Germany or get back to Basel, it's like, oh, I can eat some vegetables and fruit. There are a lot of German tourists that come here. That's why I'm surprised nobody assumes that I'm German, and they automatically just assume that I'm Polish. The next day I did, when I went to the panorama, I saw a map that was, it showed, oh, here's a tourist loop. So I decided to do the tourist loop. But as I was going there, I got off track and I saw this market, like this interesting market. Since there was free Wi-Fi in the park, I looked it up. Apparently this was an exclusive market that only appeared on Sundays behind an abandoned railroad track place. And things were known to be about 50% off normal prices. And it was really interesting. They sold everything under the sun. I am not joking. They sold like literally everything. Clothes, outlets, spatulas, underwear. It was insane. It was kind of like the market in Chiang Mai, but except no one heckles you, no one speaks English, and there are no knockoffs. So yeah, I didn't get any knockoff Beats headphones. Oh wait, that was in Laos. They just have really, really cheap things. I got all of this plus these, and this all cost less than 50 euros or 165 zloty. And I just got so excited when it just like seeing how cheap everything was, and at the point I'm just like, I can't carry everything. I mean, I finally got so many things I need. I got house shoes, I got a blanket that actually covers my body, before I've just been relying on a couple of other small blankets. Got another pillow so that I could finally sit up in bed. I got a couple of really nice outfits. I was going to get another pair of shoes, but I'm glad I didn't, because I did not have any more room in my bag. I think I lost a lot more getting my exchanging money than I did spending it. They have this thing called Żabka in Poland, where basically it's like if you're Swiss, you will understand this. It's just like Coop. It is exactly like Coop, but they're every block, and they're a lot more frequent. And of course, obviously, a lot more cheaper because compared to Switzerland, Poland is just like, I mean, I felt like a typical Swiss tourist that jumps across the border to Germany to buy stuff. And then the next day, I didn't know what to do. And all the things I hadn't seen were closed, and it was too late to book Gross Rosen tickets. By the 8th, my legs were about to fall off. Like, no, I don't know why, but my legs were just so sore, and my feet were just killing me every time I got up to walk. So I ran into these two Ukrainian guys in my hostel. One showed me around, very nice, didn't speak much English, but I still had a decent conversation with him. And so basically that day I was just on a pierogi and ponchki hunt. Then I bought a bunch of snacks. My taxi driver on the way back actually spoke German, so we had a decent conversation. He asked me, he's like, when are you coming back? I'm like, I was thinking of coming back on November for Independence Day, but I don't know, I'd have to see about my schedule. But I'm looking for a place to go from February to the end of April, because I have a very long break from mid-February to the end of April, and I don't know where I want to go. I was thinking of maybe going by the Baltics, maybe going to Bulgaria or in Romania, but I don't know. And I still would like some suggestions on some anime conventions in the area. I know Dokami is the one to go to when it comes to Germany, and I found out they have a lot of interesting snacks, but yeah. So that's about it for my trip to Poland. Keep on studying.